မြင်ဘူးတော့ပြီတစ်ထွေးကြီးပါအပြင်မှာ
Hello everyone. It's nice to see you in person.
In the brick and mortar school, in the educational setting, not only do the states, because I know it's education is state dictated, even though there's national Common Core curriculum, that there needs to be mental health services embedded into every school at this juncture. There also needs to be facilities in every state, not a 6-month wait to see a psychiatrist, as in Pennsylvania at times, or a 12 months to get a bed in a mental facility. The asylums, unfortunately, weren't the fix years ago in America because they were horrible. But when they were taken away, authority went to the states, federal money was taken away, and now you have outpatient services, and there's a lack of prescribers, there's a lack of counselors, there's a need for more. And every day, our prison system right now is housing half almost, and I could give you the data to you know, they're not there because they're criminals. They're there because they have mental health issues.
Are there any particular medications you think should be pulled from the market or added to the market?
I believe that every child, when they're diagnosed with a mental health condition, should have, there is a test for it. There's some kind of tongue test that can dictate which medications will work and won't work for you. However, you have to ask as a parent for that test. And I can guarantee from my experience in this with parents working in the school district or just from friends and other associates, most people aren't even aware of it because it's not paid for insurance. And most Americans can't afford it. So when things aren't covered under your insurance, they're not given, like a doctor isn't going to prescribe that is done. So you have to have the self-awareness and knowledge to go and have that testing done. And most people, unfortunately, just don't know it even exists.
Okay, all right. Well, I think this is definitely something that we need to figure out better. There's clearly, I agree with you that there's a mental health issue, and I think we need to look at like what drugs actually work.
My question centers around higher education. So I'm going to age myself a little bit, but 20 years ago when I graduated high school, I made the decision not to go to college and just to enter the workforce. And it worked really well for me, but I did get a lot of slack from it from people that thought that was kind of crazy. And now I've seen, the attitude toward higher education kind of changing and that not being the only model that we have. So my question's sort of twofold here. So when it comes to like my children, who, will eventually be needing to make that decision, what decision or what advice would you give in comparison to like a trade school, higher education, or just entering the workforce? And from an employer standpoint, in 10, 15 years, what do you think employers are going to be looking for from this next generation that will be entering the workforce?
Sure. Well, I do think that probably too often people do a university or college thing for 4 years, and it's unnecessary. And then they accrue a lot of debt, and it's hard to pay off the debt, and they often don't learn skills that are very useful. So it's not, I think we should really reconsider whether going to college actually makes sense. I think it does in all ways. So, what's the point of going to school in general? You're supposed to learn useful things. It's to improve your understanding of the world and learn skills that can help you contribute to your fellow human beings. But very often, the university does the opposite, in fact. It will propagandize kids and not teach them anything useful, and just saddle them with a lot of debt. So I think, what really matters is, like, are you doing something useful to help your fellow human beings? Are you contributing more than you take? And if you are, that's a great thing. Now, we are headed into a pretty wild future here with artificial intelligence and robotics. I I think, especially if you look at, say, like 10 years from now or more, that we're going to have, the world's going to look very different. I think it's like 80% likely to be good. Yeah. Like the glass is 80% full. Yeah. And most likely we'll have, I think we'll probably have a situation which is universal high income. Actually, not universal basic income, universal high income. And there will be no shortage of goods and services. That is what I think is most likely to occur. We need to make sure that this AI is, and these robots are on the side of humanity. Obviously, James Cameron made a couple movies about that. So you got to watch what you're programming these robots to do. The example I've used a few times is, when Google Gemini came out, people asked, well, which one's worse, misgendering Caitlyn Jenner or global thermonuclear war? And said, well, misgendering Caitlyn Jenner is worse. It's like, we've got a problem with this AI. And even Caitlyn Jenner said, yeah, you should definitely misgender me. That's crazy. We don't want to have an AI that concludes that the best way to avoid misgendering is to execute all humans, that therefore reduce the probability of misgendering to zero because there are no humans. That's the kind of crazy stuff that could potentially happen that we want to avoid, which is why I think we want to have a maximum TCP AI. It's got to be kind of based in a good way, and just be honest and truthful and forthright AI. That's the best path to safety for artificial intelligence.
Dollar တန်းကန်ထူးရှင်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာมันได้ไล่กว่า1 ล้านค่ะ1 ล้านค่ะกามดีนะคะเนาะอายายา
We're all going to give it out tonight. Judy Kimura. We're trying to get attention for this very important petition to support the Constitution, and it's like if we need the right to